In March, in March 2025, I got this 2025 Jayco J Flight SLX 175 BHW Baja Edition Bunkhouse version of the travel trailer. Is 22 foot in length. The bunkhouse comes standard in these. It's a great idea for people who have kids or might need extra sleeping area for camping. However, I don't need I don't need more than one bed. I'm a single senior. The bunkhouse takes up about one-third of the entire space of the travel trailer. They don't give you the option when you purchase to if you want to leave it out. As a senior single, I plan to use the trailer for live it for the rest of my life, not just for a few camping trips. Everything I own and need will be inside, and I need to utilize every ounce of space the very best way possible. At first, I just stored stuff on the beds. It was an eyesore, and it was difficult to get to the things that I needed. I had to use a step ladder to access to anything on the top bunk and hard to get up there as well. It was dangerous climbing for me. The bottom, I would bang my head on the top bunk to get the things on it. So I realized the bunkhouse has to go and needed to be changed. So I'm gonna share with you my plans and my change. So it's time to dismantle the bunkhouse. This was not an easy project. I'm 73, still recovering from my stroke last year. I also it's been 120 degrees outside and inside even the air conditioning. So I said I have to do this. I don't have anybody to do it for me. I have some friends that offer to later, but I when I need to do when I know I need to do something, I just said I have to get going. So that's what I did. I started to dismantle this. I'll let you watch me. I will speed it up without talking through it. Just you're gonna watch me do the work. Every now and then I'll say something. Otherwise, just hope you enjoy it. As you can see, you both the top and bottom bunk were loaded with stuff, junk. So I had to move everything off the top and the curtains. Move them. I load everything on the benches around the dining room table. Also loaded up my bed and took a lot of stuff in my little storage shed. It's so too hot to carry things in and out. So I put a lot of stuff there, mostly my bed. We'll have to take it all off the bed to get to sleep tonight. Nothing easy for me, believe me. So the first thing I did, take it all the outside trim, the bumpers like, and all the way from the end to the middle way, both top and bottom bunk. After I get all the trim on the top and on the outside, then I have to go inside, take all the trim underneath on the walls, in the corners, and under all the framework. Get all that done. Then had used square head screwdrivers all the way through it. And usually I don't have a pry bar used. My screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and a hammer to get all the framing out. Quite a job. Then I'm gonna have to take everything out of off the shelves, out of the bags, and put everything on the bench around the table and everything else going on the bed and some things go out in the storage shed outside. So here we go. All total this took about 4 or 5 days to get it done. Took 3 days to get it all taken apart. Then do the pantry and the desk. Take another 2 or 3 days. And so it had to do a lot of modification, but it got done.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and where I'll go in life, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes, and ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
So in order to get the bottom board off the top bunk, I'm gonna have cut a hole in this section at the very back. I crawled in here. Oh my gosh, it was hot and sweaty. I finally found the goggles. I don't have them on yet, but I will. I'll drill a hole to get started to be able to use the jigsaw. Huh. Oh my gosh. I have to cut this section out in little tiny pieces, pull it out so I get it up there because I could not get to the screws from the top on the even on the ladder. So I got it up here, cut this out. Then once I pull the pieces out I cut, I can get in there in with my screwdriver to get the screws on the rail off so I can take this bottom bunk out. Boy, was a monster job. The sawdust in my hair, my clothes inside all the bed, the sawdust from using jigsaw. There is no other way I could do it. Nobody could reach the screws all the way in the back corner. No way I can do it. And even couldn't reach it, still would not come loose. I had to use special tools to get it all out. Nothing's made easy, believe me. And I finally did get it done.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows. And we're all going live, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
So I got all the bed on the top is out. It's only a half back of only the back half on the bottom bunk out. Because what you'll see at that big open hole that's covered the floor, covered with the water heater, the water pump, and all the pipes to go throughout the trailer into the bathroom and the kitchen. So everything in there. It had some kind of black, looks like a big plastic bag, all melted on the floor. It had mouse droppings in there. There are screws stick to the wall, but there was no, that screw there was not attached to anything. When I took the surrounding sideboard for the top bunk. Anyhow, here we are. So all this space cannot use it a floor space. I did realize even if anybody wanted to get in there do any kind of repairs, the manufacturer never thought about that. Fairly, you would have to take all the beds apart just to get access to anything. It's crazy. So you know. Did not have to block this in at this end of it here. So I can only use half the bottom space. On next clip, I'll show you where the wheel well is under this. I'll show you it. So even though the underbelly on the trailers sealed supposedly, they have holes under that plastic glob and a few other holes in here down out to the outside. Apparently, the mice get through those holes. Can all gonna have to get some um, stainless steel to fill those holes. Hopefully, I'll have to take it apart again after getting it all done. That's what I have to do to keep the rodents out. So what I will have to do is move that center divider over towards the torch closer to the water heater. Now cover that back section again with the board where the bed was. I had that will have be the level of my floor. So I'm gonna use the area above it would be my storage unit, storage area for my food pantry. It can't go down to the floor. That will be my floor. So as you can see, the bottom bunk that went all the way across to the bench for the dining room table on the right corner here. That's my well, that wheel well. So under that board to the left, that's where I just show you. That's where the water heater and all the plumbing. So that's how high it's going to be. 18-inch from the floor up. I'll have to the ceiling should be 60 inches, but really only about 58 inches from top of this platform to the ceiling. This right side, that's a part of me. I'm going to use that little space for office. I'm going to put little tiny child desk in there. I will have to cut down the desk a little. Only I will have to modify the desk. Anyhow, that's gonna be my food pantry and my office. Tell me what you think with this done. I'll show you all the office on the next video. So be sure to check out the description below the video if you want more details. The sizes, what I had to work with, and what I did. So thank you for watching the video, and hope it hope God hope you learned something you ever want to change in your travel trailer. How to take out a bunkhouse. Not easy, but it is possible. So there you go. Thank you for watching. I love you all.